Danielle Smith's UCP government updates its controversial school book ban.
I really don't believe that it's up to politicians and government to decide what is right and wrong for our children to read.
Despite a revision, many parents say the province is still overstepping. Plus, the city's 2021 climate emergency declaration under intense scrutiny.
What did this declaration actually mean, and did we need it?
While some question the benefit, Calgary's mayor continues to defend it.
Listening to the climate science is actually a very good thing.
And a Calgary judge denies some Springbank residents' wish for an injunction.
The community has spoken loud and clear that we oppose this development.
That would temporarily stop a rezoning hearing at council chambers.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. Tense moments in the community of Langdon after Strathmore RCMP issued a shelter-in-place order this afternoon for the town located east of Calgary. Numerous police vehicles and tactical members were called out to deal with an incident involving firearms. The order, which came in around 4 p.m., specifically focused on residents along Boulder Creek Drive. It asked them to stay in their homes, not open the door to anyone, and not give away police positions on social media. Around 5:30, RCMP confirmed the shelter-in-place order had been lifted. One person was taken into custody. More details are expected on Tuesday. Emergency crews have responded to an ammonia leak at a southeast Calgary arena. Just after 7 p.m., Calgary Fire was called out to the Jack Setters Arena in the southeast community of Linwood. Staff and patrons were already evacuating the building. Specialized crews managed to locate the leak, blocking off an area around the arena, and were able to isolate and seal it. No one was hurt. 7 fire apparatus and over 24 fire personnel attended, along with police who helped with blocking off the roads. In Calgary, a cyclist has been seriously injured after getting hit by the driver of a cube van. It happened this afternoon at the intersection of 20th Avenue and 36th Street in the Northeast. The woman in her 70s was taken to hospital. Paramedics say she was in stable condition. Several roads were closed off, including 36th Street. C-train service in the area was halted, but everything has resumed and reopened. The province has updated its order to remove sexually explicit books from schools and school libraries. Now, the new rule only applies to images of sexual acts. Literature with written passages is not included in the ban. Still, some parents and political experts believe the province has waded into unnecessary territory. Stephanie Thomas has more.
After months of controversy and criticism, the UCP government has finalized its book ban in Alberta schools. Education Minister Dimitrios Nicolaides has updated his earlier ministerial order regarding sexually explicit materials from libraries.
Our concern from the very beginning, as was brought to our attention, was always around the really explicit and visual depictions of sexual activity that we had seen in some of these novels that were brought to our attention.
The ban now only applies to images or pictures of clearly defined sexual acts. Written passages in novels, poems, and works of classic literature are unaffected. The issue of the order garnered international attention and reaction from well-known authors who wound up on a list of banned books released from the Edmonton Public School Board.
Classic literary material stays in school libraries as it should and where it needs to be, but books containing graphic depictions of oral sex are not available to underage elementary children.
Some parents of teens say the province continues to overstep.
I'm infuriated by it. I really don't believe that it's up to politicians and government to decide what is right and wrong for our children to read. That's what teachers are for. That's what librarians are for.
He says the graphic novels that have been singled out often depict characters making personal and sexual discoveries.
And so there's a page or two that has an image that is seen as objectionable. We can't throw the whole book away because of those images.
Political experts and student advocates say the province mishandled the book ban policy without considering potential backlash.
Had they gone through the process of consultation with the school boards, with library associations, they might have prevented this, fairly embarrassing for them, I think, instance.
But this is very unilateral, right? Like a book restriction, book ban from a government, from the state, is a one-way street where school boards have to follow without consultation.
The new deadline for implementation is now January 5th, but boards must provide the government with their lists of literary materials they plan to remove by October 31st. Stephanie Thomas, CTV News, Calgary.
Additionally to what we heard in Stephanie's story, the province says the updated order aims to increase transparency. School authorities must publicly post a list of literary materials used that aren't contained to a classroom collection. Parents of enrolled students must also be granted a review process about materials on that list. The Calgary Board of Education says it appreciated the revision and additional time for implementation, and it continues to review library materials. The Catholic Division says it's also working to align with the order. However, the Alberta Teachers Association says the issue is a grand distraction from labor talks. A public hearing for the new data center complex that will take place Tuesday morning at the Rocky View Council chambers. The proposed development site is approximately 453 hectares of land near Highway 566 and Range Road 282 east of Balzac. The plan includes multiple data center facilities and a 900 megawatt power generation facility. Some of those who live in the area are concerned for their property values, negative health impacts to people and animals, and say it will be an eyesore.
You're literally taking 1,120 acres of agricultural soil and randomly plopping in a data center / power plant when there's so many more places that this could be put that's properly zoned for, like over in Balzac.
The developer, Kinetic Core, says the project will increase the county's non-residential assessment base, which will have substantial long-term benefit to the county's fiscal position. The public hearing will begin at 9 a.m. A group of Springbank Hill residents, have lost its bid to get an injunction in time to stop a city rezoning hearing for a new 42-unit townhouse development in their neighborhood. Residents filed the injunction last week after learning the city would not delay the rezoning vote for the proposed Augusta Villas until after the fall election. Today, a Calgary court judge denied the injunction. Currently, the community in Ward 6 does not have a councillor after Richard Pootman resigned. Residents say the development will overwhelm the area. Sonia Sharp is one of 3 councillors tasked to represent the area, and residents say they have asked her to step in. They are hoping she will put forward a motion tomorrow asking council to defer the public hearing on the rezoning for the 3-acre parcel of land until after October 20th.
So ultimately, we're at the council's mercy, and so we are pleading for them to do the right thing. This is their final chance to do the right thing and to defer this matter until we have an elected councillor following the municipal election. Should they proceed to hear this matter, we will be there to speak and to speak vocally about the significant concerns we have as a community.
Despite the setback, residents vow to continue their fight and will be at council chambers tomorrow morning. Austin says at least 20 community members have signed up to voice their concerns. Calgary Council's climate emergency declaration is again in the crosshairs as a proposal seeks to rescind the action and audit spending. Council will debate ending the declaration next week. A committee approves sending it to council for debate. The sitting members of Communities First put forth the pitch. They also want a full audit of what the city has spent on climate policies and planning for the next 4 years to determine if it's been worth it. The motion says Calgary's Climate and Environment Unit has a $26 million operating budget and $22 million in capital spending this year. Councillor Sonia Sharp, who voted in favor of the declaration in 2021, says she can admit her misstep and things have changed. The mayor says the action shows the city is taking climate change seriously and calls this motion politicking before an election.
So I think people are waffling and flip-flopping because we are getting into an election season. So whatever is populist and can stir the pot and get you some news headlines is the way some people choose to go.
What I'll say is it's more of the political stunt of staying in your lane. And there is great work we're doing to reduce our own emissions as a corporation. But what did this declaration actually mean, and did we need it?
If this motion does not pass next week, it would not mean the city's climate work and planning stops immediately. Rather, if it does pass, most of that work will continue, but the declaration and language used would stop if the majority of council votes in favor. A 12-year-old boy accused of trying to kill his younger brother in Lethbridge has been ordered to remain in custody. The boy is accused of repeatedly stabbing his 7-year-old brother at the family's home late last month, according to investigators. The boy claimed a man came into their home and stabbed the younger boy and then took off. The victim is recovering after being airlifted to hospital in Edmonton. The boys cannot be identified under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. Parks Canada has issued a warning for a campground in Banff National Park, saying wolves have been spotted in the area. The warning is for 2 Jack Lakeside and will remain in place until further notice. Parks Canada says the wolves have shown bold behavior and are advising people to use caution when traveling or camping in the area. That includes carrying bear spray. A small wildfire near Moose Meadows in Banff National Park is now classified as being held. Park officials say it's not likely to spread beyond its current size of 2 hectares. Over the next few days, crews will work to put the fire out. It may also mean that at times smoke may be visible from the Trans-Canada Highway and the 1A. The fire was reported on Saturday.
All right, today on the Air Quality Health Index, we were at moderate. That will continue in through tomorrow morning, but then we should start to see a good break from the smoke. And I say break because it is temporary. Okay, Air Quality Health Index for tomorrow, moderate risk, 15 degrees at 8 a.m. And then in the afternoon hours, the winds will start picking up out of the south. That should really help move that smoke out of the city. So we'll get to that. Air Quality Health Index will be low risk on that scale. We're looking at a high of 26 degrees, but by the supper hours, we do run into a small chance of an isolated shower or a non-severe thunderstorm. That full forecast is just ahead.
All right, Danielle, thank you. It's a piece of prairie history that's been disappearing, and a group of enthusiasts is hoping to preserve the small town hotel bars in a special project.
You're watching CTV News Calgary.
Premier Danielle Smith is in Colorado until Wednesday. The goal of the trip is to promote the province as a reliable energy partner. The Premier will meet with American officials and industry leaders in both energy and agriculture to strengthen the cross-border partnership. Smith and Colorado's governor previously signed a memorandum of understanding to align and improve regulation. It was also meant to share the best practices in areas like carbon capture and hydrogen development. In 2024, bilateral trade with Colorado totaled nearly $6 billion. The city will discuss reinstating funding to convert an historic downtown building into residences. The Barron Building on 8th Avenue Southwest was originally approved for funding under the Residential Conversion Grant Program. That funding was paused in 2024 due to cost overruns. The estimated cost has now ballooned to $115 million. 3 councillors argued that the building has already received a $1 million grant for conservation work. They put forward a motion to reinstate $7.5 million for the conversion. Council will debate the motion next week. The cost of the Stop and Go Green Line project has surpassed $1.5 billion. The latest update on the transit mega project shows the price tag has exceeded $148 million for work done this year alone. The reimagined Green Line broke ground again in June, and road work is underway at the intersection of Barlow Trail and 114 Avenue. A functional plan for the line downtown is still being finalized. Phase 1 of the Green Line is projected to cost $6.3 billion. As female athletes in Alberta sign up to play sports this fall, they're also being given a provincially mandated form that requires them to confirm their gender at birth. Students like Natalie Elzinga were told they wouldn't be allowed to play unless they filled out a new piece of paperwork. The form follows the province's Fairness and Safety in Sport Act. It requires women and girls to prove that they were born biologically female. Under the act, boys do not have to fill the form out.
I'm not trans, I'm not queer in any way, shape, or form, but I know that this is terrifying for people who are.
They don't care about trans athletes in sport. Otherwise, they would care about all trans athletes in sport.
The provincial government says the rules are about fairness and safety. Calgary City Council will decide next week whether to acknowledge motorsports in the city's sports landscape as a non-profit set to lose its track. It comes as the City of Calgary looks to build a new South Central bus garage and possibly extend 50th Avenue on what's currently land leased by the Wild Rose Motocross Association. The Motocross Association has a fully built racetrack which would be removed. The motion calls for council to include Wild Rose Motocross in its recreational facility plans. The group has formed a committee to petition to save the park. Well, many Alberta towns have one, an old hotel with a restaurant or bar inside. And many of these buildings are closing down, which is why a group of photographers are documenting this part of prairie history before it disappears. Connor Hogg reports.
The Andrew Hotel has stood at the end of Main Street for decades.
The social center for everyone to go and meet, Friday nights and go and have a couple of beers after work, and there was probably a dance and a pool hall and the romances and bar fights and everything in between.
We have our coffee crew, the farmers, whatever, because we don't really have that many restaurants because they come and go.
Tonight, the Beer Parlor Project is visiting to preserve the hotel's history.
There's a lot of stories that have passed between these walls.
Those stories coming straight from the mouths of the people inside.
This is 1982. It was rebuilt. Before that, it burnt down.
I was probably 20 years old when I started coming here.
I used to waitress a lot of Calgary.
Oh, so you know tough conditions.
Yeah.
Stories recorded for posterity and photos taken the old-fashioned way with antique cameras.
Like I said, I was a welder.
When they're speaking of something, it is a memory that's going to stick with them their entire lives. You hear happy stories, you hear incredibly sad stories, all in one sentence or one paragraph sometimes.
Many of these types of buildings tell similar stories. Some have rumors of hauntings, small-town scandals, and legends. All of them are community hubs.
But it's pretty close knit here. When somebody dies, whatever, we tend to gather here always. We have a lot of funerals in here.
While many of the people may be gone, some are still here, and the stories remain. The project planning to collect them in a traveling exhibit or a book.
1, 2, 3. Nothing's groundbreaking, nothing's earth-shattering, but just you piece them all together and it just tells a story of what life was like 100 years ago or 75 years ago.
Through the lens of the Beer Parlor Project, stories are told that may be ordinary, but are also worth telling. In Andrew, Alberta, Connor Hogg, CTV News.
Danielle's up next with their Skywatch forecast. Mild temperatures continuing. Details next.
All right, today was a little smoky, still moderate on that air quality health index in the city of Calgary. I'll give you our whole smoke forecast in just a second. But first, we were warm today. 24 degrees is our high in the city, and really also warm in Saskatchewan, in Manitoba. So the prairie's warm, cooler out east. Toronto, that corridor, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, just got to 19 for today. We'll hold on to the warmth for a while, and I'll show you that in the long range forecast too in just a minute. We had that instability build into the foothills. It did track off to the east. It's quieting down for the night, so that's some good news for us. So tomorrow, yes, it may still be a little smoky. We'll likely still be at moderate in the city and in most of southern Alberta. I will show you that in just a second. But behind the smokier conditions and behind the haze, it will be mainly sunny for the morning hours. Then later in the day, that development once again in the foothills, and this will happen pretty much every day this work week. Keep that in mind. And then this will track off. This model is suggesting that by about 6 o'clock, we will see an isolated shower in the city. So just keep in mind there's a small chance of any sort of isolated shower or non-severe thunderstorm in the city, and certainly off to the west, there's a good potential for that. And similar thing for Wednesday. I'll advance this to later in the day in Wednesday, and you can see that development once again. All right, when we talk smoke, we are at moderate for today. We've been at moderate today, and we will be moderate for tomorrow morning. But I want to advance this, and you can see this will move its way out tomorrow afternoon. But it will, with the air direction and the wind shift, we will have this peak back down again by the time we get into Thursday morning. So we'll have a break from it, but it will return for us on Thursday. So for tomorrow afternoon, though, we will bump down to low on that air quality health index, the low risk, and then back up again on Thursday. Okay, so 26 degrees is our high for tomorrow. Small risk of any sort of shower, thunderstorm development. A bit of a bigger risk for later in the day on Wednesday. An air quality health index by tomorrow afternoon and through Wednesday should be on the low risk part of that air quality health index. We're looking at 24 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday, it will likely get a little more smoky, which will pop us up to moderate at least. And then by Friday, it should be less smoky. It should be mainly sunny, and we're looking at a high of 22 degrees.
All right, Danielle, thanks. It's a sweet annual tradition. Girl Guide cookies are back, and we were there for the big delivery. Chocolate Mint Girl Guide cookies are now on sale. 17,000 cases arrived in Calgary this weekend. Girl Guides began selling cookies in 1927, and it continues to be their main source of funding. The price is $6 a box, and the money helps buy supplies and fun trips. There are about 4,000 Girl Guides in the Calgary area.
So we buy the girls crests and badges, as well as fun things and like unit supplies like markers, tents, things like that. But we also have some units who are traveling. So we have units that are headed to Italy, and we've got a couple headed to Switzerland and a few to London. So it goes a long way.
Definitely, Girl Guide cookies are very popular in our newsroom too. The gondola at Kicking Horse Mountain Resort in Golden, BC is up and running. In March, one of the gondola cabins fell about a meter from the lift cable. 8 passengers inside avoided serious injury. The resort says all the hanger arms have been replaced and all testing is complete. The Eagle's Eye restaurant is set to open September 15th. A playful duo stole the show at a golf tournament in Golden this weekend. Here's video of the two black bear cubs frolicking and wrestling near the 18th hole. We're told the cubs, about 2 years old, were born on or near the course. Golfers took a break while these two played on. All right, and that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. We'll see you soon.